Good morning. This is Brother Peter. Tidbits from the Word. Would you like to have some real enjoyment? Would you love to have some real fun? I'm talking about real. I'm not talking about make-believe. I'm talking about everlasting, something that will last forever for you. 2 Timothy 2:15 says these words directly from the Word of God. Let me read this to you this morning. He says here, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. And their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus. Listen, if you do not stay in the Word of God, you will be in another place, another word. You will be doing something different. I asked my boys in Sunday school this week, I said, how many of you watched TV this week? 9 hands up. How many of you played with your Game Boys this week? How many of you did this or that this week? How many of you read the Bible every day? Every hand went down. Not that I wanted to shame my boys, because I don't. I love my boys, every one of them, and their hearts are in the right place. It's just a tough world to live in today. The devil offers everything but what makes peace and joy and long suffering. The devil doesn't offer. That comes from God. You have to sacrifice the idiosyncrasies and the pleasures of this world, physical pleasures of this world, and the mind-boggling things that will take you away from this world. For instance, there are many things out there distracting grown-ups today. Facebook, Twitter, things that people will sit for hours and hours and hours in front of the computer and do these things and are never satisfied. They go to bed unsatisfied, they get up unsatisfied. By the way, let me ask you a question. Are you married? And are you robbing your mate of time that should be spent with him or her, sitting in front of a computer, either playing solitaire? And by the way, I'm a paint contractor. I'm outside a good bit. I paint in offices. I paint in places where I see solitaire being played. If you are an employee and you're being paid by your employer to be working on your office computer, you should not have solitaire on there. That is robbing. Every minute that you play solitaire, you're robbing your minute of a boss, of what he hired you to do. I just threw that in extra. Listen, being a Christian is being a Christian. Being a Christian is being Christ-like. Jesus would not have defrauded a person out of a penny. My absolute desire in the world for myself is to not defraud anybody out of a minute's worth of time or a penny's worth of money. I try my best when I'm on the job to be fair. Every now and then I need a break. The particular place where I'm working right now, they don't like you to take a break. They don't want to see you take a break. If you take a break, you kind of have to sneak to do it, because you can't just stop and do it. I came from in the state of Maine, up north, where I came from. When I went to work in the morning, I would work a half hour and then check in. Almost everybody in the plant where I worked, by the check-in time, was already working, walked up there and punched the time clock and checked in. And when it came quitting time, there wasn't a big rush at the time clock. People would come and punch out, or they would work a little extra. They would punch out and go back and finish up what they were doing because they weren't done. There was an interest in getting done what you came to do. There was an interest in securing your job and securing the man you worked for. A completely 100% opposite of what today is. Today you pull up in the parking lot at a business, at a place of business, and you'll see check-in time, 7 o'clock. You see people sitting in their cars, waiting. What are they waiting for? 7 o'clock sharp. And they come punch in. It's a few minutes after, or a couple minutes before. But you can't all punch in at 7 o'clock. So if you come in at 7, you got to be in line. Some of you will be punching in at 20 minutes later because of all those punching in before you. You got to be one of the first in. Listen, this is a terrible world we live in today. It's a world of serving self and not the employer and not God and not the things we want. I'm not even supposed to be talking about this. I'm on a rabbit trail. I'm supposed to be talking about having fun. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved. That's in all things. That's not just the Bible. That's in all things. That's in your work. Be the first guy in. Be the last guy out. Always be busy. But when you do take a break, don't hide and do it. Take it. And if you get flack from it, you get flack from it. I was going to say this. When I first came down here, they said to us, we start work at 8. At 10 o'clock, you may take a 15-minute break. At 10 o'clock, I got me a cup of coffee and I sat down on a bucket of paint and drank it. Well, here comes the boss. And the boss said, the head man up there walked by and said, you were sitting on a bucket drinking a cup of coffee. But you know what? The head man said to the boss, I don't like that. But let me tell you something. The head man's the one that gave me permission to sit down and drink that coffee for 15 minutes. And so the boss comes by. He said, I don't mind you taking a break, Pete, but find a place. Get out of sight. Get in a closet somewhere or something. I told him right quick like, I said, I have permission to take this break for 15 minutes at 10 o'clock. And I'm going to sit right here and take it. And if you want to fire me, you can fire me. But I'm not going to go hide, not from anybody, when I have permission to do something. And so I'm going to take my break. And I really get flack where I am right now. We took a little bit of a dinner thing a little while ago, and I got caught with a drink in my hand, and we got flack from that, saying, hey, your painters can't be walking around with a drink in their hand. Well, I had permission to have that drink originally. If I had a 15-minute break at dinner time and I was taking it and drinking that drink, I don't like hiding. I don't like to have to hide. I like to do things in the open. But anyway, let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's be Christians and let's have fun. Let's get in the book. You think playing solitaire is fun over and over and over and over again. You know what that would be to me? That's a form of hell. To play solitaire over and over and over again is a form of hell. Can you imagine having to do that for an eternity? That's going to become boring. And when it does, and you can't get out of it for an eternity, that's what you're going to have. Is that what you want for eternity? Or do you want pleasures with God? Do you want to have freedom? And you want to have change? And you want to have what humans are designed to have? And by the way, you are going to be in a human body in eternity, whether your eternity is in hellfire forever or whether it is in heaven forever. Have fun in the Bible. Get in the Bible and have fun. that fun will last